Today we'll be looking at one of the most beloved first-person shooter franchises of all time, Battlefield, and its upcoming title, Battlefield 2042. It's garnered lots of hype, and deservedly so, with its promises and groundbreaking changes to the core idea of Battlefield, but some do have skepticism about whether it will actually pull its weight and not fall under classic EA collapses, which are not particularly uncommon nowadays since SimCity. I'm your host, Martin Gilbert, and here is a look at Battlefield 2042 and why it's the most crucial game in this iconic franchise to date. Going Back to the Future is a refreshing take that hasn't been done in over 7 years since Battlefield 4. Battlefield 2042 is 100 years before the events of 2142, in which the world was under the subject of the Ice Age, and no Sid and the gang this time to make you laugh. Battlefield 2042 will feature large-style events, such as an epic tornado and an immense sandstorms, and more. These Levolution moments, as EA calls them, have been around since Battlefield 4 and have not been seen since Battlefield Hardline, although they did come in smaller iterations as environmental changes, as a sandstorm, but not as big as what we've seen in this one. Many were conflicted with its purpose to the flow of the game and how it changed the battlefield. Some saying during the beta of 2042 that they felt it was more of an eyesore and not useful other than a gimmick. Of course, the game is not out yet, but I feel that since this game is tackling such issues as climate change and eventually the Ice Age, they can produce apocalyptic Levolutions that we have not seen before in this franchise, bigger than Battlefield 4. Hopefully, maybe tsunamis, hurricanes, who knows, maybe even volcanic eruptions on an island. How insane would that be? And you have to survive these rocks pummeling down towards you and you catching on fire and vehicles blowing up out of nowhere. Imagine trying to fight over positions when there's this going on. It would be awesome. It would be insane. Of course, the game is not out yet and we need to see more. But with all that being said, this is set 22 years after Battlefield 4. That was 2020, and they had the Final Stand DLC that gave us a little taste of lasers and advanced tanks, and lacked Levolution, but gave us a little glimpse of what this game could look like. And from what we're going to talk about next, it's very exciting what they're implementing. They also are bringing in Ospreys, Robo-Dogs. Of course, you're going to have different gadgets. We're going to get into that later as well. With the ability to finally go back to 120 players, expect to see carnage and chaos ravaging through the largest maps ever seen on Battlefield. This will hopefully allow aerial vehicles to feel more powerful and dangerous while still having many areas infantry can hide. You can now change your attachments on the fly, and from the beta, it was not terribly implemented, but lacked proper vision, with its poor ammo management and ability to add grenade launchers on a whim, or spawn automatically in a vehicle of your choice. Although that's not too bad because the maps are intended to be larger. It just depends, jet from nowhere. I don't know. Specialists are back and mostly inspired from the original class system they had in Battlefield 4, allowing you to cater to your own playstyle, meaning you can use any weapons your heart desires, but your special gadgets will be linked to your specialists. You can compare this to Apex Legends specialists, where they have multiple characters for different classes with different gadgets. With these core mechanical changes, they are hoping to give Battlefield a new, fresh take with even more replayability, because they are looking to keep adding new specialists. All around excited for these latest changes and hope they are refined for the release. Save the best for last, right? Battlefield Portal is offering something completely new to the franchise with the ability to use its predecessors' maps, guns, and vehicles, currently only Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3, and be able to mix things up to your own liking by making your own server using the builder they call it. Now, you don't need to build your own. DICE is hoping the community will supply with lots of content and variation. There is a catch to putting up a server though. It's free, but must at least always have one other player for your server to still be up. So as soon as there's zero players on that server, boop, goes offline. So you would have to be on it at all times. That causes a problem. It's a lot of a waste of energy as well.
Server is going to persist, so as long as there's even one player playing on that server, it will continue to run. When that last player leaves, then the server will spin down, and then as the host, you can choose to rerun that server the next time you log into the game.
hoping this doesn't remove your creation and saves it somewhere else. Hopefully it does save it. I'm sure it will be able to be saved and used by the community at their own whim. Like, oh, I like this, but there's no server for it. Let me make my own server so I can get my friends playing. Hopefully that'll be the case. But anyways, I'm sure if they flesh out that, they can make this the biggest selling point for people, in my opinion, and is one of the main reasons people remain hopeful that this game will deliver that nostalgic feeling from playing on iconic maps in Battlefield 1942, mixing up the loadouts of those guys to have modern weapons, or if you wanted to play against bots, you could go 1v119 or play against your friends. Whatever, the sky is the limit. Whatever you want, this game mode has it. In conclusion, DICE and EA know this is it. After all of its failures, like the Battlefront franchise, Hardline, Battlefield 5, they need to hit for the fences or they're out for good. The fan base is at an inflection point with this company, and it will be critical for DICE to deliver on its promises so the future of this franchise can keep going. Thank you for watching and sharing with your friends. I will see you in the next story. Bonsoir.